Welcome into the show, everybody. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag, and it is absolutely wonderful to have you along for the ride. Hope everybody is just fantastic on this fine Friday morning. And in the Delaware Valley, it's not raining. So how about that? It's not raining. Congratulations, everybody. At least not yet. Anyway, we got a lot to get into today. Some things we haven't talked about from earlier in the week from the NFL owners' meetings. That has nothing to do with the tush push, but has everything to do with the Philadelphia Eagles and the rest of the NFL. So we'll get into that conversation when it comes to the Olympics and it comes to hard knocks. The Olympics I just find to be silly when it comes to the NFL, the NFL players participating in the Olympics. I'll give you my full take on that. Also, when it comes to hard knocks, this is going to be great. It's going to be great for fans, which ultimately is all that matters, right? I think in Philadelphia, the only thing we're concerned with is the Philadelphia Eagles repeating as Super Bowl champions, running it back, and they have the tools, obviously, to do that. The hard knocks thing, I don't know if I've ever not wanted more publicity for the Philadelphia Eagles than I don't want them to have more publicity right now. Now, will it give us plenty to talk about? Yeah, of course it's going to give us plenty to talk about. But when are we ever at a loss for subject matter when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles? I said at the end of last year, actually, no, midway through last year, as a matter of fact, that I never want to have a foreign camera in the NovaCare complex, one that we're not familiar with, local affiliates, digital outlets, all that. I don't want that. I don't want to have more cameras in the NovaCare complex. Now, that might be blasphemy for someone that obviously makes his living by talking about what goes on at the NovaCare complex as well as other things. But I said midway through last year, after everything was really out there about Saquon Barkley, and Saquon was having such a great year this year for the Philadelphia Eagles, I watched what happened to the New York Giants, and I went, yep, could definitely do without that for my entire life. I don't want the cameras in the front office capturing moments like that could be shoved in the Eagles' face for all of eternity. So I'm going to go ahead and not wish that to ever happen to the Eagles. Also, fanning the flames of drama, this team doesn't need it. And I'll get this right out of the gate. It was a busy day yesterday. Did CBS 3 earlier in the day, and then was on the Fox 29 Fantastic Sports Show later in the day. CBS had asked me a question about whether or not it'll be, whether or not there'll be distractions because of Hard Knocks. Now, in case you haven't seen this, the featured Hard Knocks mid-season is going to be the NFC East. So the Cowboys will be there. The Giants, obviously, the whole NFC East will have the cameras in the locker room. It's not just going to be the Eagles. It's not just going to be the regular Hard Knocks that you're used to. That'll still happen, but the Eagles will be the featured division. I don't like this because I think about what if you did this last year. Last year, one of the big themes later in the season was hard conversations, tough conversations. Philadelphia Eagles had tough conversations. Devontae Smith talking about tough conversations. A.J. Brown talking about tough conversations. Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, tough conversations. So what if those tough conversations, as they will most likely be, what if they'll be said in front of those cameras and then people like us, people in the fan base, even, you don't need a lot of the media anymore to tell you what to think. A lot of people can just watch it on their own and get their own thoughts. So it's not just the media anymore. It's people taking it and putting it out there on social media in general, saying, "Oh, can't believe A.J. Brown said this to Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith said this to A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts said this to Nick Sirianni." There are certain things that we're not supposed to be the audience for because we're not the audience. But Hard Knocks does lift up the hood a little bit, and to use the phrase that my man, producer at CBS 3, Andy Wheeler, used, how the sausage is made, which I think is a great way to put this. Sometimes you don't want to see how the sausage is made. You might think you want to see it, and I know we're all going to watch it, but you don't want to see how the sausage is made. Another example of this. Every once in a while, there'll be a speech in the locker room that gets leaked. Go way back to Bounty Gate with the New Orleans Saints. I remember the defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, a tape of him was released talking about cutting the head off of a snake. You want to kill the snake? Cut the head off the snake. And he's talking about getting to the quarterback, And everyone's like, how dare he say something like this to knock a player out of the game, whatever. It's like, do you understand? Like, that's a tame. First off, we're not the audience for it. The guys in the locker room are the audience for it. And then second, this is the situation we're trying to motivate these players as much as possible to get after a quarterback. So this isn't anything for us to judge. This is how players talk. This is how coaches talk. I've heard so many stories about the speeches Ray Rhodes used to give to the locker room. Horrifying stuff for someone who's not part of the team. There's some things we're not meant for. Some things are not meant for our ears. So yeah, does it raise my eyebrows a little bit when it comes to concern about having cameras in the locker room, more so than normal? And conversations between Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni. Yeah, do I want to hear some of that stuff? Absolutely. But do I also know that it could fan the flame of distraction and drama? Yeah, I'm aware of that as well. Now, with that being said, yeah, I hope there's more stuff that comes about the Giants that's embarrassing. I hope more stuff comes out about the Commanders. They seem to be the NFL's golden team right now with Jaden Daniels. So, yeah, I look at it as, certainly as twofold. But as much as I might be excited to get the behind-the-scenes look more so than ever, there's some things that go on in this team, acknowledged by them, talked about by them, that is not for our ears. And I hope things like that do not play out. So we'll get into that a little bit more. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Hard Knocks featuring the NFC East in the upcoming season. Your Philadelphia Phillies. I still can't get over this. It was something I was thinking about a lot yesterday after the game, and thought about again when I woke up this morning. And it's the Phillies have been around since 1883. If you caught my postcast last night and my the short we put out afterwards, I couldn't wrap my head around it now. I can't wrap my head around it now. Phillies been around since 1883. They have never beaten a team all 7 or more times they played them in a season. So the Colorado Rockies, Phillies just wrapped up a 4-game series. They had a 3-game series that they swept earlier in the year. They have never swept a season series of 7 or more games in franchise history. They've been around since 1883. That is amazing. And they did it this year. They just finished doing it with a 4-game sweep of the Rockies and a 3-game sweep of the Rockies earlier in the year. That is amazing. And I know a lot of people could easily just jump to this and say, oh, well, it's the Rockies. They suck. Of course they should do it. Well, yeah, of course they should, but they did it. How many times does a team that you follow, so how many times are they supposed to do something and they don't? Like, how many times do we look back and be like, how do you split with the Rockies? How do you split it? How do you lose a series like that? How do you get blown out in game 1 and now you can't sweep? No, they beat them every time. They have now 7 of their 32 wins. 7 of their 32 wins have come against the Colorado Rockies. I'll take it. Hey, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And you guys know that I absolutely hate this, but it happens every once in a while here with Philadelphia at every sport. You play down to your opponent. How annoying is that? You play down to your opponent. Well, the Phillies in this recent stretch have been amazing. They've now won 7 out of their last 8 series. They have won 7 in a row overall. And the month of May, oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to give you these numbers about the month of May. And you're going to be like, whoa. Is it June yet? No. It is May. Only May. And Kyle Schwarber is every bit of the Schwarbarian that we love him to be. And quite frankly, this team absolutely needs him to be. And yesterday was a great win because you get a 2-0 game. Couldn't get a lot of offense going in that one. Marquez was pitching really well for the most part. Ranger Suarez, 6 2/3, just couldn't get that one out. Oh, would have been 3 straight starts for Ranger Suarez where he gets he gets 7 innings in 3 straight starts. He's been great. Ever since his first start of the season, he's been great. 2 shutout appearances in those 3, including yesterday, of at least 6 2/3 now, we can call it. But he was great. 6 strikeouts. Of all the things, he's got to get 1 more out. He's got a runner on third for the 3rd time in the game, and he's just got to get 1 more out. He goes up on Goodman, I think it was, 2-0. I'm sorry, 0-2. And you're thinking, all right, just punch him out, man. Just punch him out. Goes up 0-2. 8 pitches later, Goodman works a walk. So an absolute battle. Suarez goes out. Ryan Kirkering comes in, and he throws one pitch, a sweeper that rides in, and he gets, I think it was Tovar to fly out or foul out to Bryce Harper at first base. Yeah, okay. I'll take it. Strahm came in, was good. Jordan Romano came in, and he was good. It was great. It's a great win. 2-0. I'll take it. Bryce Harper, another RBI double. Max Kepler, another RBI double. Let's get that going. Yeah, feel pretty good. Feel pretty good about the Phillies going into Sacramento to take on the A's for a 3-game series, while the New York Mets, a team that is now officially 2 full games behind the Phillies, take on the Dodgers at Citi Field. 9-game homestand for the Mets. 9-game homestand. All right. Let's get into this conversation, because this conversation is one that I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I want no Philadelphia Eagles players playing in the Olympics in 2028. Now, at the owners' meetings, they said, oh, yeah, they were given permission. 1 player per team can do it, but they still have to be subject. It's not like, it's like the NBA, where, it's not just because you're eligible doesn't mean everyone plays, So, or anyone who wants to play can play. No, you got to try out. You got to go through the whole process and all that. And I'm saying right now, I don't want any member of the Philadelphia Eagles playing flag football. For me, this is 100% about people that want to be in the NFL, people that are fringe NFL players that might be on the end, towards the end of their careers. This is for college athletes. This is for maybe recently retired players. The first guy that jumped to mind, for many reasons, was Terrell Owens. I would love to see Terrell Owens play for Team USA. He's always saying, I can play. I can still play. I can still play. I know that he can't still play in the NFL. I know that he can't. And people, can he be a tight end? No, he ain't playing. But you get him on the international stage, I would absolutely love to see him play for Team USA. This is something that I think players want to make a name for themselves and possibly get on the NFL radar. This is a great thing for them. And why not? You've seen sprinters make it from the NFL. Hell, in Philadelphia, we've seen skiers make it from Jeremy Bloom. We've seen other athletes get NFL tryouts and even NFL contracts playing other sports because they're fast. Let's see how they do in an NFL setting. Well, this is a little bit closer to that. We at least get to see a guy's route tree. I'm for it. I'm for flag football in the in the Olympics. What I'm not for is anyone I want to see play well for my team participating in it. No thanks. Last thing I want to see is somebody blowing out their ACL because they're running a fly route in the flag football. Yeah, no thanks. Now, Roger Goodell. Let's not get it twisted, folks. Roger Goodell's not doing this because he's just, flag football be fun in the Olympics. No, Roger Goodell is doing this because he wants to see something close to a 1992 Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson dream team in the Olympics, and flag football is obviously as close as he'll get to that. I was listening to the NFL report on this when it was first thrown out there. And I forget the number. I want to say it was like 10 million. I remember it was a jaw-dropping number. It shocked me. 10 million people worldwide play flag football. Something like that. Worldwide. Does that include like 9 million people in the United States? And like 1 million people outside the United States, including army bases around the world that are U.S. Army bases, like military bases? I don't know where the number comes from, but there you go. So apparently this is a thing. I'm all for it. I want to see it in the Olympics. I think that's cool that it's going to be in the Olympics. But I don't need the United States' top players playing in it. Don't need that. I certainly don't need to see Philadelphia Eagles participating in it. Now, does this sound scared or to use the word that my man Jason Martinez used on Fox 29 last night. He said wussified. And I was like, yes, exactly that. Wussified. And I've heard counter arguments about hockey players playing in Worlds and playing for the country and seeing what Team USA and Team Canada. Was it Team USA and Team Canada that got like 9 fights in the first 3 minutes or whatever it was? Yeah, those I've always said hockey players are not athletes. Hockey players are hockey players. They are their own breed of human. They are a breed of athletes, sure, but they're cut above the rest when it comes to, I'll play. Yeah, sure, I'll play. This isn't for money. This is for pride. Yeah. I'll play. That's a hockey player's mindset. Football players, well, I don't know if I should because of this and that and the other. Yeah, hockey players aren't human. They're hockey players. They're a different breed, man. So when you talk about the NFL and using guys like A.J. Brown, for instance, use him as an example. Yeah, no. And A.J. at his press conference the other day, he had this to say about the potential of playing in the Olympics because he once had interest.
The Olympics is during camp. Yeah, so no. Yeah, so that would be tough. That would be tough, but hopefully that goes through, and I think that would be fun just to compete, you know. And me personally, no, but because of camp, and you know, you guys will be complaining about A.J. Brown is not at camp, and so will the fans be, you know. So I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna keep the main thing, as Jay said.
A.J., we saw in the Super.
We had our first the main thing from Jalen Hurts Monday at 1:49 p.m. So always remember where you were for the first the main thing of the 2025 season. Now we got one for A.J. Brown. So we got all boxes. Like he's like, yeah, that would have been cool, but what is it during camp? Oh, I'm going to be busy. Not going to be able to make that. Translate, he doesn't want to play. I don't know what NFL player is going to want to miss time getting ready for the season to play in the Olympics. I'll say this right now. Nobody of note. The Olympics is not for your everyday, even average NFL player. Flag football in the Olympics is not going to be for that guy. Flag football might have a couple of guys that might get persuaded by the league. Come on, we need some players of note. Can you please? The players of note are guys that are just recently out of the league. That's where I see this happening. Those are the players of note. This is going to be more of an arena football thing than it is going to be anything else. Get those guys going. This is going to be more of a undrafted rookie that just really wants to get on the map. That's what this is going to be for. So Jalen is in the commercial where he lights the football on fire and lights the Olympic torch with that. Yeah, no, I'm good. No, thank you. And I heard some people talking about why is this the NBA? The NBA does it. Well, yeah, they do. Good for them. That ain't football. I got to worry about more soft tissue injuries. Yeah, no thanks. People look at Joel Embiid. Like, I didn't want him to play in the Olympics. Like, for anybody. It wasn't just, play for France, play for Cameroon, play for the United States. No. I don't want to play in the Olympics at all. And you could tell, and I've referenced this many times, when Daryl Morey was asked at the end of 2 seasons ago now about Joel Embiid playing in the Olympics, you could tell Daryl Morey wanted him to have nothing to do with the Olympics. Like, hold on a second. You want to have an injury in the postseason here, and then you want to go into the offseason and play more basketball? I don't give a damn if it was 11 minutes in a couple games, or I think 22 he played against Serbia, whatever it was, 28 he played against Serbia. I don't care. He's still doing it. He's still practicing. He's still out there. He's not resting, not recovering from surgery, whatever. And now he comes back and he's not ready for the season. Comes back, loose word, loose phrase. He comes back for this past season and he's not ready to play. I'm sorry, how did you play in the Olympics again? And then when he was finally asked about playing in the Olympics, he played the victim card of, I've done so much for the city. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dude, that's great. But you're not ready to play basketball right now for this city. So what are we talking about? Didn't want him playing in that either. Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it. So I'm out. No thanks. Do not want them playing in the Olympics. And I wholeheartedly agree with A.J. Brown's take in the idea that And that was from Monday, by the way. The whole idea that wait, you guys are good. You guys want me to play in the Olympics? You guys were the first to say, "Oh, AJ's not here." Yeah, no. I do think there will be guys persuaded by the league, but I think the best bet are guys that are recently out to go and compete against other countries. And I do think a lot of us are going to look at it as we do basketball, which is we're going to expect gold. Again, the first time they're going to do this is 2028 in Los Angeles. So there's going to be a minute here before we really got to make any decisions. But I don't see anyone willingly pushing their players, anyone from any fan base saying, "Oh, hell yeah, I want Patrick Mahomes to play. Oh, hell yeah." No, this is going to be like 2028. Matthew Stafford will be retired. Maybe he'll be slinging it for Team USA, and I'm fine with that. But I think we're going to be expecting gold. But on that same note, because when you really think about it, like baseball is our game, and how many times now have we not qualified in the Olympics? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Now maybe if the Team USA gets blown out for 3 Olympics or something like that. Really, it would only take one. Then I'm sure Roger Goodell would put in incentives for players to go play in the Olympics, if that's even legal. I don't know. I don't know how the NBA does it, but that's it. But I like the listen to this one more time, AJ Brown. I like the glee in his voice.
The Olympics is during camp. Yeah, so no. Yeah, so that would be tough. That would be tough. But hopefully that goes through, and I think that would be fun just to compete, and me.
You get the idea. No. During camp? Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. The other thing here, I go back to the Hard Knocks. This is going to be great for conversation. I still don't want more coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles that we have. I am good on the amount of coverage the Philadelphia Eagles get. I've watched a lot of the Hard Knocks over the years. When Vic Fangio got hired by the Eagles, I went back and I watched the in-season Hard Knocks of the Dolphins. And, I mean, Fangio was barely in it, but it still gives you really good information about the goings-on behind the scenes, what makes players tick, their background, things that you don't know like that. It's great. It's great for that. But then you have what you had last year with the New York Giants and all that video that's now available and will never go away about Saquon Barkley. And yes, we get to enjoy that and we get to laugh at it because we're the biggest benefactor of of those tapes. Like, we as a division rival get to laugh at the Giants. We as the team, the Philadelphia Eagles as the team that got Saquon Barkley and won a Super Bowl. Yeah, it really couldn't have worked out better for the Philadelphia area, right? For the entire Philadelphia Eagles fan base. Could not have worked out better. It's awesome. Jose, you mean to tell me we took Saquon Barkley and then won a Super Bowl, and now that tape is out there forever? Oh man, what a nice sugar on cherry on top of this amazing sundae. This is fantastic. I don't want that in the locker room of the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want any moment go over the last couple of years here. AJ Brown ices out the media. That ain't gonna happen with Hard Knocks cameras roaming about. The tough conversations that were talked about a lot, especially after the Panthers game last year. I don't want those caught on camera. Like, look, it's only a threat. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to love the Eagles more? That's impossible after this past season. Like, I don't see any positive that could come out of this. I think everyone's pretty good on this. Yeah, it's pretty wild that we're going to get this kind of inside access. Yeah, I understand that. And we'll all watch it. It'll be like something you just can't turn away from. Like, I have to watch this, Yeah, it'll give plenty of dialogue. I don't want any of those moments that are supposed to stay behind closed doors go out there. And if you think the teams have major say over this, think again. Do you think the Giants just wanted that out there? Those private conversations with them and Saquon Barkley? I don't think so. I've been in the room actually right next to the guy that works for NFL Films during games. And when players are mic'd up or coaches are mic'd up, I can remember this guy being like, nope, don't use that. Can't use that. The other coach is not mic'd up and did not agree to these terms. He's revealing personal information about himself. You can't use that. And I was like, well, wait a minute. That's really good information. Like, I remember the two coaches, too. It was actually Brad Childress and Mike Singletary. I won't get into anything more, but we were in San Francisco when this happened. And it was good information. And we were about to cut it. And the guy from NFL Films was, nope, actually, nope, can't use that. Or we're like, we're putting the package together already. Like, nope, can't use it. That seemed like back then, that was like 10 years ago. Then the NFL had a little bit of a conscience about this. And now it just seems like, wait a minute, hold on a second. We can get the clicks. We can get the interest. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want the Eagles to be their fodder. I don't want the Eagles to be the fodder for the NFL for their clickbait. But let them loose in Washington. Let them loose even more in New York. Good Lord, what can happen? Oh, Dallas. Oh, the fun we're going to have with the Dallas Cowboys this year. Oh, man, Jerry Jones. Oh, it'll be great. That I look forward to. Don't want it for the Eagles. Don't want it for the Eagles. So that's where I'm at as far as Hard Knocks goes. As far as your Philadelphia Phillies, I am enjoying this ride immensely. Someone made a joke yesterday. It was actually Jason Martinez during Fantastic Sports Show. He had talked about the idea of peaking too early. Look, the Phillies they went to Colorado last year, and they were 34-14 or 37-14. And it was around this time that they made that trip. And they fell apart. I've talked about it many times. They're 37-14. And then they lost. I think they lost 2 or 3 against the Rockies. They lost 2 or 3 to the San Francisco Giants. Came back home and then went to London shortly thereafter. And then people blame the London trip for the Phillies falling apart. I do not. I don't get the sense that the Phillies are peaking too soon. I feel like they're just doing what they're supposed to do. Especially when you're talking about a team that was behind the Mets like 5 games just like 2 weeks ago. And you're talking about a team that you've already seen struggles from Alec Boehm. You've seen struggles from Bryce Harper. And look, they could certainly struggle again. It's not like you have one struggle every season. Like, I understand that. But what they're doing right now in the month of May is exactly what they should be doing in the month of May, especially when you just play a team like the Rockies for 4 games. You play a team like the Tampa Bay Rays for 3 games. You sweep them. They're doing exactly what they should be doing. The Cardinals, unfortunately, thorn in their side a little bit this year. Don't like that. But listen to these numbers from the month of May for your Philadelphia Phillies. Edmundo Sosa just continues to hit 409. He's hitting in the month of May. Brandon Marsh, 341. In now 15 games in the month of May. Alec Boehm, 333 with a 382 on base percentage in all 3 of his home runs in the month of May. Bryce Harper, 333. 3 home runs, month of May. Trey Turner, 330, month of May. Nick Castellanos, 293, month of May. Kyle Schwarber, 270 with 8 home runs in the month of May. This is a fine month. JT Realmuto's only hitting 246, but he's got 3 home runs in the month of May. I'll take this. This is pretty damn good. This is pretty damn good. You ride this for the season, then yeah, you're going to be pretty set. Also, some of your regulars, Max Kepler batting under 200 this month, and still the team's winning. Bryson Stott only hitting 203 so far this month. The team's still winning. You've gotten practically nothing from Rafael Marchand. So there's that. I'm very much impressed with what I'm seeing from the Philadelphia Phillies this month. Look, my point when they were 37-14 a year ago was, man, just if we're just waiting for June, what if there was that next level? What if they haven't peaked? What if they still could go higher and higher and higher? Well, I still believe the Phillies can play better baseball. For instance, against the Braves and against the Mets. Now, the Phillies are going to come back from the series against the A's, and they're going to take on the Atlanta Braves after this. That's a huge test for the Philadelphia Phillies. It goes without saying. The Braves gave him fits last year. The Braves are going to give him fits again this year, and there's no way anybody can convince me. And they don't have the Mets, by the way, till the end of June. They have them again, and they have them at home this time around. But I know everyone wants to look at the Braves and just kind of write them off that they're one game under 500. I don't care that that's where they're at. The Braves are going to have a run in them. I have zero doubt in my mind about that. The faster you can put them out of their misery, knock them off a pedestal, the faster you can humble them and make them think that, oh, yeah, no, you're going to be the team to beat this year, the better. Because I do feel like the Braves right now are just lying in wait. They got off to such a rough start. And that defines them right now, but I do not feel like that is going to define them for the 2025 season. So the more space you can put between yourself and not just the Mets, but the Braves, holy Stromboli, the more power to you. And that series against the Phillies, they took 2 or 3. Things were bonkers in that series. And the thing I keep going back to, the game I keep replaying in my mind is the game that Zach Wheeler pitched in that series where he had Edmundo Sosa in left field. And he made one home run saving grab. And then later in the game, you have the Johan Rojas Edmundo Sosa play that drops almost on Johan Rojas' foot. And he doesn't catch it. So I'm looking past this A's series with the A's already losing. I think they've lost 8 in a row now. 8 in a row. About 7 games under 500. I'm kind of looking past it. I look forward to seeing another minor league ballpark, just like you saw for the Tampa Bay series. Phillies are undefeated in minor league ballparks this year, a stunning 3-0. Let's improve to 6-0 before coming home to taking on the Atlanta Braves. That's where I'm at. I'm already looking past it. By the way, the Braves are going to come off another tough series, by the way. They got to host the Padres, who spanked them something terrible earlier in the season. Swept them in a 4-game series before they went on to get swept in a 3-game series by the Dodgers. I'm looking forward to it. That's the series I have my eye on. The series against the A's, I will have my eye on at 10:05 every night. They got 2 games, 10:05, and then I think a 4:05 start time. It's going to be a long weekend, a long Memorial Day weekend.
Well, that's pretty dope.
No, it's not. Postcasts after dark. Let me tell you about the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show? Game Time app has you covered. So download the app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase. And how about this? The Game Time Picks feature on the Game Time app. You know what that does? That takes all the pressure off you because the Game Time Picks feature just puts all the best games in front of you with the best possible seats. How about that? Game Time app has you covered if you want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show. And don't forget about all-in pricing, where you see exactly what you're paying up front, so there's no sticker shock upon checkout. Also, you can view your seat's vantage point before you buy it, so you're literally taking the guesswork out of buying tickets with the Game Time app. So once again, download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Promo code Farzy, terms apply. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. And how about Brett's amazing inventory at Sky Motor Cars, SkyMotorCars.com. Check out Brett's amazing inventory at SkyMotorCars.com. Let's get into the chat check and see how your wonderful people are doing on this fine Friday morning. Rye, good morning, Rye. Sean Gillespie, hello. Jason A, hello. Sean Kilrain, what's poppin'? Sean Gillespie, why would the Eagles agree to unwanted drama? Because I don't even think they can agree to it. I think the NFL's like, by the way, you're the division that's doing it. That's why I think they're doing it. From Jeff Kerr, Taylor Owens is confirmed to be playing in Devontae Smith's 4th annual charity softball game. Game is Saturday, June 28th at Coca-Cola Park in Allentown. What? All right, let's ask him about the Olympics. Here's my T.O. story for after the fact, okay, after his career was over. So when I was at WIP, he agreed to do the roast, the sports roast. I think he was the first. I think it was the first to do the sports roast, the Joe Conklin sports roast. He's 51 years old now. He's a good 51, as they say. And I remember saying to him that he was at the time 3 touchdowns shy of, I think, second all time in touchdown receptions. It was like 3 touchdowns shy, I think it was. And he had to be only 41 at the time. And I said, "You're only 3 touchdowns shy." And he's like, "I'll get that in a game." And I was like, "God bless you. God bless you, man." Because he had one last go around with the Seattle Seahawks. The last team he officially played for was in a season was the Cincinnati Bengals. Played in Buffalo for a year, Cincinnati for a year. And then he went to Seattle, and I believe he got cut, or they had a tryout. I don't even know if it was a training camp. I think he just had a tryout, and they were like, "Yeah, no thanks." But he still maintained that confidence, man. So, hey, have at it, 51-year-old Terrell Owens. Eagles didn't have a choice. NFL gave them a break, so the Eagles returned the favor for the tush push. April. Good morning, April. Sean Covey, the tush push is part of the game. No need to ban it. Don't put yourself in a position where it can happen. Create negative plays, force turnovers, and if you're tired of seeing it, stop it. Sean Kilrain, wholeheartedly agree. After the Phillies win yesterday, Rockies are now 8-42. Yes, they are terrible. Terrible. And you know what? Also, in yesterday's game, you can have the base running blunders that you had against the Rockies. You can have them against the Rockies. You can't have those against the Braves. Certainly can't have those against the Mets. You can't have them against the Dodgers either. In case you missed it, maybe you were at work. Kyle Schwarber got doubled off first base on a line drive to left field by Nick Castellanos. Schwarber, I mean, he just took off. He was dead to rights. And then Alec Boehm, on a line drive from Brandon Marsh, I guess he forgot or didn't realize where Tovar was playing. And he was on second base. He got a double. I think it was a one-out double. And he just took off like he was going to score a base hit up the middle. And Tovar was right there, and he just caught it. He was like, "Where are you going?" And just then trotted over to second base bag and just stepped on it, and that was that. Doubled off. 2 guys doubled off the bases. Bow up and beat it straight up from Ndamukong Suh. Huh? All right. Sean Kilrain, Cody Clemens. Oh, yes, he has been awesome with the Twins. 3 home runs already, 10 RBIs. Damn, son. 318 batting average, 388. That's pretty good. Ooh. This is interesting. SC Birds fan 803, would Cap play? Interesting. Colin Kaepernick donning the red, white, and blue. That'd be a turn of events. That'd be a turn of events. Sean Gillespie, say it. Hockey players don't think. That's true. When I was doing the thinking out loud of a hockey player, that was all a farce. That's what that was. Farzi K. Benson Bar. Farzi, is it time to trade Ranger for a bullpen guy? No. No, it is not. It is not time to trade Ranger Suarez. I am not there. Look, I don't know what you're gonna get from Aaron Nola this year, and you might need a starter to get you the rest of the way, to be in the best possible position to go into the postseason. The improvement to the Phillies bullpen after Jose Alvarado, as of right now, they're being tested. And so far, your lefties, Matt Strahm and Tanner Banks, in the very small sample size to this point, have done well. Now, the other thing that we forget is, and I have certainly forgot about this, and watching every game, watching every pitch, Matt Strahm hasn't jumped out to me as a guy that's got all-star quality, but the numbers totally support the idea of him being an all-star pitcher, an all-star reliever. When you talk about this, Jose Alvarado is being lauded as the Phillies' best bullpen arm, and as he should be because he was the Phillies' best bullpen arm. But his ERA is 2.70. 2.70 in 20 innings. Matt Strahm is 2.75 in now 19 and 2/3 innings. He's given up fewer hits and issued one more walk. Both have a WAR of 0.7. Strahm has 2 more games that appeared in than Jose Alvarado. Yes, it was better to have both of them than it was to have Strahm and Banks. But now you're going to be reliant on Banks and Strahm to step up their game as the lefties out of the bullpen. And also, Jordan Romano has been a million times better than how he started out. He's now appeared in 20 games for the Phillies. He's got 6 saves, picked his 6th save up yesterday. He has gone on one heck of a run. And if you look at his splits over the years, or excuse me, over the months, I just told you all the key hitters here, what they're doing in the month of May. Right now, in the month of May, he has computer's jumping around on me. Oh, there you go. An ERA of 0. I was like, an ERA of nearly 13. Oh, that's April. Okay. He's got 4 saves this month. He's pitched in 8 innings. He's had 8 innings logged and just 3 hits and 1 walk in those 8 innings with 12 strikeouts. That's the guy. That's the guy I want. So if you're telling me I got a reliable lefty in Banks, a reliable lefty in Strahm, and a reliable righty to close out the games in Jordan Romano and Orion Kirkering, look, 1 pitch yesterday. He got into trouble in his previous outing, but got out of it. Yes, I still think the Phillies, by the trade deadline, are going to add a bullpen piece. But as of right now, I don't think that's when they're pushing the button for anything major. As I said when this first happened, and I maintain this now, a week into it pretty much, the Phillies are not going to make any big moves right now. If they acquire anybody, it's going to be a David Robertson, who is a free agent. It's going to be a cash considerations trade and a low, single A prospect. It's not going to be anybody of note. It's certainly not going to be Ranger Suarez, at least not yet. And I also think that the trade Ranger, the Phillies are going to have to see what they have in Aaron Nola left, because I think they know what they have in Taijuan Walker. I don't think they even trust him yet, especially with the idea of him going presumably back to the bullpen. That's where I think this. That's how I think this plays out right now. No big trades as of late. Right, Michael Vick and Chad Ochocinco and T.O. and Sproles make a retirement team hard to beat. Right, I'll root for that team. I would love to see that. Moving Ranger to the pen, again, that would also depend on what Aaron Nola does. But here's the thing. Ranger Suarez, 21, 27 and 2/3 innings, he's allowed 3 runs. Why are we changing his spot? Is it because of the money? It's obviously because of the money. Greg Benson. I love this. You think Deborah reminds Romano that his ERA is over 6? No, but I think his brother does. Hey, remember your ERA is over 6. Oh, I know. All right, sorry. Jason A, hello again. To going to the baseball game? What, going to the baseball game is sick? It might be. Hardcore for all. Hopefully the Phillies' success will boost, I think you mean, those players' confidence rather than slip back into the chase every pitch mode. Yeah. I agree. Patience is certainly something the Phillies need to preach. Ken Saad, good morning, sir. Have a great day. Have a great day, Ken Saad. Thank you. God bless you guys, bro. God bless you, Ken Saad. Thank you. Most importantly, F them boys. Thank you, Rye. Wine, you 24 losers. Now want to see Ravens, Browns, Lions, Jags, Dolphins, Patriots, painful. Saints, Jets, and Titans have great seasons, right? You kind of want to pull for them a little bit, being that they're the team that's on your side. Oh man, this was such a weird offseason, just in terms of all this stuff. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers, people. Oh, Jason, I'm sorry I missed this question earlier. Whoops. I'm pushing buttons, and I showed it. All right, there we go. What is your take on the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation? And I have a feeling Pickett or Sanders will start. I think Pickett ends up starting. Wait, didn't Joe Flacco go back to the Browns? I feel like Joe Flacco went back to the Browns. Am I crazy? Is that? Yeah, he's back with the Browns. This is funny you asked me this because I will be seeing my father-in-law tomorrow, who is the Cleveland Browns fan from Ohio. And this will probably come up in conversation. I wouldn't be shocked if Joe Flacco was the starter. And then Kenny Pickett or, Sanders would probably be your back. I think Sanders, by the time training camp's said and done, I think he's your backup quarterback. It wouldn't shock me, obviously, if he was your third string, simply because if he's right behind Flacco, then, he's just one play away from going in. And you want to talk about drama, that could be drama. So that's where my head's at as far as that goes. But I think Flacco is the number one guy. Damon Fat, Farzi, I would submit you within one round of UFC Octagon. All I saw that you think I could last nearly a round. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. Oh my God, that's right. They drafted. Wow, what a quarterback session or offseason for the Browns. Holy Stromboli. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful, as per usual. Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Phillies tonight, 10:05 start time. They start their 3-game series with the artist formerly known as Oakland Athletics. They go for their 8th straight win, and they go for their 8th series win in their last 9. Zach Wheeler gets to start against Jeffrey Springs. He's a lefty, so you'll see Trey Turner atop the Phillies lineup tonight. Wheeler 5-1 on the season with a 2.67 ERA. You have Springs going again. He is a 5-3 pitcher so far this season with a 3.91 ERA. He is coming off a 6 2/3 inning performance against the San Francisco Giants, allowing just 1 run. Before that, 7 innings, 1 run against the LA Dodgers. 6 hits, did not give up a home run. By far, their best pitcher. His ERA ballooned of all teams. Of all teams doing against the Chicago White Sox, who have 1 fewer loss. Oh, excuse me. At the time, they only had 7 losses on the season. So there you go. That's where we're at in life. That's who the Phillies get tonight, the lefty, Jeffrey Springs. And again, that's a 10:05 start time. The games for that series, 10:05, 10:05. Wait, let me see where the White Sox are now. 15 wins on the season. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I'm not sure if that's a 3:05 or a 4:05 on Sunday. 4:05, yeah. 4:05 start time on Sunday. So you got Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo going this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys tonight. I should say tomorrow morning around 1 a.m. For your Phillies postcast, your Locked On Phillies postcast. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to all things Locked On Sports when it comes to your Phillies postcast. It comes to your Sixers postcast when that time comes. Also, like and subscribe to the Farzi Show on YouTube. Like and subscribe to Jacob Media on YouTube. Like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies YouTube. Like and subscribe to Locked On Eagles YouTube as well. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Birds 365 with Xander Krause and John McMullins. Stay tuned for that on Jacob Media. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. See you guys late night, little postcast after dark. See you guys then. Bye.